welcome back to Margaritas in Paradise. We have another guest for Everybody Has a Story. We have Leo here from the USA, and he's been, how long you been in Thailand?
I got here in 2000.
In 2000, so 23 years.
Yeah.
And Leo's pretty famous, actually. And so anyway, Leo, why don't we start out with you telling something about yourself? A little bit of background information, something like that.
Yeah, okay, no problem. I was born in Dunkirk, New York, Western New York, on Lake Erie. I attended a bunch of schools, but I graduated from a Cardinal Mazzeni High School, 1961. Went to a few universities here and there and never graduated. Worked for my dad for about 20, well, I don't even know, some 20 years, I guess.
Right.
And the rest is just kind of like me, you know. We had a blizzard in Western New York in 1977, and I promised myself as soon as my car got out of impound and the snow melted, I was leaving. So I said goodbye to my family, and I moved to Las Vegas. I spent many, many years in Las Vegas, and then moved to California, and then went back and forth from Las Vegas, California, Las Vegas, California. And my profession is I'm a jeweler. I sell and make jewelry and do all kinds of things with jewelry.
Right. And you're a Buffalo Bills fan, right?
Go figure, yes.
Yeah, we won't hold that against you.
I know. And you must be Kansas City, I presume.
Of course. Go Chiefs, go Chiefs.
All right.
So what were you doing prior to moving to Thailand?
What was I doing prior to moving to Thailand?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a hell of a question. Oh, I was living in Amsterdam.
Oh.
Here's the deal. I won some money in Las Vegas. I inherited some money. So I said, well, I'd never been in Europe, really. So I thought, well, a good place to start would be Amsterdam. My intention was I was going to travel Europe. But I wound up really liking Amsterdam. I liked the change of seasons after being in LA and California. And then through a comedy of errors, I wound up at one point in time in the Philippines and met some friends from the United States. I moved to Amsterdam. They moved to Bangkok, and somehow or another, I don't know how we even put it together because there was no cell phones back then. And they would call me, and I would call them, and blah blah blah, landlines. And so, consequently, they said, "Why don't you come and visit us in Bangkok?"
All right.
So I said, "Okay, I'll do that." So I came and visited my friends in Bangkok, and the usual, you know, they picked me up with the limousine, blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. I was like really surprised because I didn't realize that Bangkok was so cool with the nice skyline and this, that, and the other thing. And of course, tons of gorgeous women. And so I left all my clothes in Amsterdam and just stayed here. But I met Nang in Bangkok.
Right.
And her and I are still together 20-some years ago.
Right. Yeah, so the love of your life, basically.
Yeah, the love of my life for sure.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Nang's not with us right now. But so you're in Bangkok. How did you end up in Pattaya?
The friends that I met in the Philippines were working in Bangkok. I never worked hardly ever. And we used to go to Koh Samet every weekend. We would leave Bangkok in a van at 11:30 on Friday, and we would go to Rayong, jump on the fast boat, go to Koh Samet, stay in Koh Samet Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday around 3 o'clock. We'd jump in a fast boat, go back. We had the van pick us up, and then be back in Bangkok by 9 o'clock. But how we wound up here was one time a friend of a friend wanted to come with us to Koh Samet. I never had been to Pattaya. I'd never been here. Anyway, we came and picked him up, and he lived here in Park Beach. And it was like, oh my God, you know, this is it. I'm not going to go back to Bangkok. I'm one of them people that I decide I like something, I just leave everything where it is and go. But anyway, it was in Bangkok. So Nang and I said to Nang, let's get rid of the condo there, and we came here and moved into this building, and I've been in this building ever since. Park Beach.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Park Beach is a great condo.
Yeah,
most people are always impressed just walking in the foyer area. It's just impressive.
Yeah, it's way crazy. It's just real beautiful. I mean, really, really, really nice. And being on the ocean, I love the ocean, so that made it a lot better too. I mean, being on the ocean.
Do you miss New York?
Sometimes, not often.
Yeah,
not often. But that's where you grow up. You have those grow up memories.
Family time. I've been friends with Leo steadily for about the last 3 or 4 years, and he's been a great mentor for me, and almost like a father figure, somewhat.
Wow.
Okay? So, and I appreciate his friendship, if nothing else.
But it's a two-way street.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But Leo has all kinds of interesting stories, and we're going to get to those. Okay. Definitely hang out to the end. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Think about hitting that subscribe button, that thumbs up. But anyway, Leo, what was the first car you ever owned?
Oh, wow. The first car I ever owned.
Yeah.
Gee whiz. I think it was a 1953 Buick.
Okay.
But the sidebar is one of the funnier stories is that when I was in school, my dad used to go to Florida a lot, and my mom would get a little bit mad. And so I happened to see this beautiful, in 1960, I happened to see this beautiful Corvette in the window of a Chevrolet dealership. Back in those days, we had checks. My dad we had this jewelry store, and my dad had checks and a signature stamp. So my mom, I think, was a little bit freaked at my dad, and I liked this Corvette, and so we took a check and a signature stamp and went and bought this Corvette.
Right.
So that was it. I was a Corvette driver, kind of eccentric, for being in a little town.
How many Corvettes have you owned?
2.
Okay.
1960, 1966.
How many Mercedes have you owned?
Oh my God. My guess is probably 5.
All right. Okay. Well, anyway, we're going to get back to the interview. That was part of the interview.
All right. Okay. Never mind.
But anyway, so when you moved here, now you're a different sort altogether. Now the thing is, and we're going to get to this here. Leo's owned several different bars and music venues all over Pattaya and Jomtien area, and he currently owns Leo's Bar.
Yeah, Park Beach, right
here in this building as well, and we're going to put a link in the description below for that.
Come visit.
yeah. I mean, we'll go over that in a little bit. Okay, so when you first moved to Pattaya way back in the time, did you struggle with any hurdles living here compared to other places that you lived?
No, not that I can recall. Hurdles. No, fortunately, when I came here, I had a visa service doing this thing or something. I don't know how that worked exactly. But anyway, I wound up having these 90-day things, so I didn't have to really go to Cambodia. I've never been.
Right.
I never went anywhere. And so
90-day check-in.
Yeah, so I didn't have those. I didn't have that in Bangkok. And then here, it's been cool. It's been real simple. The hurdles haven't been any hurdles.
Right.
The only thing was there was really, for a while there, not much to do, so that's how I got into stupid bar business.
So when you first came here, were you 50 yet, or?
I think I was, I'm 80 now, so I was about 60, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've probably always been on a retirement visa then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you use an agent to take care of that, or is that what you were doing?
Yeah. You use an agent.
Did you always use an agent, or did you ever try to do it yourself?
No, I always use an agent.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay.
It's so much easier.
So much easier.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what the rules are, and they know. So
we have better things to do with our time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so busy.
Dog or cat?
Oh wow. Well, yeah, a dog, I guess.
Dog? Okay.
Yeah, I do like cats though also, but dogs, you know, retrievers, golden retrievers, you know, things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Not Jack Russell Terriers and crazy dogs. Those are like nice dogs who just like to lay on the floor and chill out.
Right. I get it. I get it.
They're dog magnets. I mean, they're chick magnets too, by the way. A nice dog.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a nice dog, man, it's like, hey, let me see your dog. Okay.
All right. Does somebody need to own a car or a motorbike while living here? If you're going to stay here permanently in Thailand, do you think that somebody needs to have a car or a motorbike while living here?
Well, when we first came, sure, of course, you had to have a motorbike. Not so much in Bangkok. Here in Pattaya, you have to at least have a motorbike, you know,
Right.
for sure. And because of my stupidity, I got in the bar business, and because of that, we had to have a car because that's delivering product and getting product, buying cases of blah blah blah, and all getting cases of beer and stuff like that. So at first we had anyway. Yeah, well, I think you need a vehicle.
You think
sure.
you do?
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
All right.
Now Bolt, dude, maybe you don't need one, but I still think
Bolt's a good option, isn't it?
Yeah.
Living here in Thailand as a retiree, what is your recommendation about medical insurance?
Oh boy.
Do you need it?
Yep.
Yes? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. In my opinion, I think you would be foolish if you can get it and afford it. It would be foolish not to have it.
Right.
Thai insurance.
Sure. Ford or Toyota?
I have a Toyota, so I say Toyota.
All right. Yeah, Nong drives the Toyota.
Yeah,
so.
she does. Yes.
I get this question asked a lot about transferring money from your home country to Thailand. Do you have any recommendation? How do you move money around?
I don't have. For me, I get a pension. I get Social Security, so my money goes from the government to the Bangkok Bank in New York to the Bangkok Bank here in Thailand, and it's relatively painless. And if somebody wants to send me 5,000 or whatever like that, they have to make a wire transfer, and I guess that's old hat now too. I think.
Right. Sure.
So,
okay. 23 years ago, moving here, how did you adjust to the climate?
Oh, the climate was fine always. I mean, mind you, I had lived in Las Vegas in California for a long time. So,
right.
So Las Vegas is really hot. LA is similar to here. You know, it's 28 in Celsius, 28 degrees, 30, 32, 30, but like that, you know, and the seasons stay basically the same. So it wasn't getting adjusted to the weather was no problem. If it would have been snowing or something, I would have never. That would have been
same here. I love the warm weather.
Yeah, me too. As a matter of fact, it gets to be 27 degrees. It's cold.
Right. Yeah. I've mentioned that in another video too. So, if you had a friend in the U.S. that was talking about moving to Thailand, specifically Pattaya, would you give him any advice on how he could better prepare himself to move here?
Well, it would be, I would. I'd give him advice best I could. You're going to be retired here. Come with enough money to be retired, you know, and enjoy yourself.
Right. Because
I don't believe there's much of a. I don't think, you know, for long here. There's not much jobs, you know. I mean,
sure.
If you want to, I don't even know what.
Don't come here to work.
Yeah, no. I mean, I got into the bar business because I was stupid. I had nothing else to do. So, but for the most part, yeah. I mean, people come if you're young, you better, you know, have a lot of money or realize that you maybe should learn Thai, go to school, be a teacher, do something. If you're old like me, you know, you just come here and act like you're retired, play golf every day, hang out, everything's nice. So.
I brought this up in many videos and the other interviews as well. Can somebody live on $1,000 US a month?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't think so, but probably.
I mean, if that's all you had, you could probably
Yeah,
live on,
yeah,
right?
You could do it. Yeah, you wouldn't live
You
in
know,
Park Beach. You
wouldn't
live
live
in
here.
a lot of places to live, and
Right.
yeah, I think it's well, you know, the advantage here on short money, you can make it go a long way, a lot better than living
That's
in
it.
no. I mean, no disrespect to the States or Europe or any place like that, but your dollar goes farther here than I think anywhere.
Right. I agree. When did you get started in the bar business?
I've probably been in the bar business. I would say about 15 years, probably.
Yeah.
Man, my first place was in Jamtiam, yes.
Right.
Yep.
And then you moved over to Soy 18 here in Nakhla?
Yeah.
Okay. How long were you there?
Well,
Soy 18?
So 18, about 8, 9, 10. Can't tell you exactly. Maybe
Right.
9 years.
Right.
9 years.
And that venue there was a live band, right?
Yeah, there's a long story to get to that story. You know, yeah, there's a lot. I didn't know what I was getting into. I had left Jamtiam because a friend of mine, she found this place, double shop house, attached to Romeo Palace in Soy 18. So we looked at it and looked at it and looked at it and looked at it, and I was like, yeah, okay, I think this will work. And you know, there was never a soul there, so it was nice. I've had these bars, and every time I have a bar, I like a bar that if I'm going to buy a bar, I want a bar that doesn't have any customers. I mean, and if it has no customers, then it's a casual experience. It doesn't. I had a bar, but it was like a real bar.
Sure.
You know, so that was fun though. It became rather iconic. I mean, a lot of nice.
Had people standing in line outside. So he was well known in this area. Had lots of musicians from all over the world. Some big names, right?
Right.
Ended up collecting all types of memorabilia.
Yes.
And became quite the man in town.
Just so happened to be, it had nothing to do with anything other than the stars and the moon. Everything was aligned perfectly.
Right.
I'll tell you a story. You can put this in if you want, or take it out. I didn't realize that the bar that I bought on Soy 18, I made the name, was called Leo Blues Bar. You know, I had this guy, I had done some voiceover with him. His name escaped me. He designed my logo. He designed my sign. Anyway, while I was redoing that space, I find out that this Wangamat area, Soy 18, is called Germantown.
Right.
Germantown. And here I'm going to open up a blues bar. And people would walk up and down the street and say, what are you going to do? What are you doing here? I'm opening up a blues bar. Oh, no, it'll never work. It'll never work. You can't have a blues bar. It'll never work. Never work. Okay. So I was already committed. I was going to do that regardless. So that's what happened. And so now I'm going to open up a blues bar. I have no equipment, none whatsoever. No drums, no setup, no mics, no. I had nothing, zero. One day, this hippie-looking Thai guy came by. His name is Pudang. He's a very famous musician. And so he says to me, what are you doing? I said, well, I was going to be a blues bar, but to tell you the truth, I don't have a riser for this. I don't even have drums. I said, I don't have drums. I don't have speakers. I don't have mics. I don't have anything. So, but I'm going to open up a blues bar. And he said, this is like a miracle. He said, so do you want a blues bar? I said, do you want a band? I said, yeah, I'd like a band. He said, you go home now and come back at 8 o'clock. And you'll have a band and musicians. And so I did. I went home and came back. And lo and behold, there was a band. Pudang was playing the guitar. He had a drummer. He had a bass player. And a lot of people in the bar. Plus, we had the speakers and amps and so on and so forth. And it was just very crazy. It was like, wow, what the hell? How did this happen? That's what I tell you. It was all lined up pretty weird.
Sure.
Because there was no. Nobody even knew me or what we were doing or anything. It just this Pudang was marvelous. And there was a bar next door to us called Happy Bar 1. There's a Happy Bar 2 now, but Happy Bar 1. Right next door to us. And I didn't know this at all. But that Pudang, his ex-wife had the bar next door.
Okay.
Okay? So, so everything's going smoothly. I have customers, and I have a band, and everything is really nice. So one night, all of a sudden, this lady comes in, and she's like really mad, and she starts swinging a Heineken bottle at that Pudang, you know. And Pudang is like, you know. So anyway, so as musicians do, we had to finish the set because they wanted to finish the set. And he said to me, Leo, I'm going to have to not play anymore. He said, that was my wife. She has the bar next door. And he said, but don't you worry, I'll have a lead guitar player and a singer. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, so come to find out, he had taken all of her equipment, the drums, the mics, the speakers from her bar and brought them over to my bar. And I was like, oh my God. So that's then I had to go out and buy equipment.
Sure.
And, but I had a band for the most part, and I had equipment, and everything was go then, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Then you moved into Park Beach at some point. How long have you been here?
In the building?
Right.
About yeah.
Well, with the bar.
With this bar, probably 9 years, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm surprised. I think so.
Right. All right. So
yeah, maybe.
Now the cool thing about the bar here, they have a limited menu. Just about every night there's some type of special. There's no set hours per se. It's a lot of times they stay open until the last person leaves, and sometimes they close when something comes up or whatever. But generally speaking, Wednesday night you have a wing night, buffalo chicken wing night,
wings, yeah.
and Nong is known for the best potato salad probably in Thailand. All right. Saturday nights is normally a burger burn type of thing with french fries and onion rings. They've been just recently starting a meat pie night. Sometimes they have chili or beef stew as well. So definitely check out Leo's. Okay, come on out.
Great idea.
It's fantastic. Yeah. If you're new to the area, is it pretty easy to make friends here?
Yeah, I think so. It's people I think are pretty friendly.
Right.
You know, I think it's a nice place. I imagine it's easy to make friends. I've made a lot of friends.
Yeah, me too.
So it's pretty simple, easy for me.
Yeah.
It's easy for me. It should be easy for anybody.
Well, yeah. As companionship goes, what do you think about companionship?
Well,
is it easy to meet a partner here?
I guess if you're going to live here, this is like playland for adults with with no wives or girlfriends or any of that stuff. So if you want to have a girlfriend, expect the worst. That's all I can tell you.
It's definitely fantasy land,
yeah,
right?
It is.
For adults.
Right.
All right. Okay. Do you cook in or do you go out, Pete?
Well, lately I eat downstairs. I eat whatever Nang is going to make at the bar. You know? So, yeah.
Can you eat Thai food?
Well, not too spicy.
Not too spicy. Yeah, that's kind of common.
Yeah,
but you can't eat it then.
I like it actually.
Vegemite or butter?
What the hell is Vegemite?
Yeah.
Butter.
Yeah, butter. Butter.
Butter. Yeah, that's the deal.
So, what does your typical day look like?
Typical day. Watch the morning news with evening news in the States. Then usually on Mondays I go to the pool. It sounds crazy. I go to the pool, and at 6 o'clock I go down to the bar. On Tuesday I play golf and go to the bar. On Wednesday I go to the pool. Anyway, it's like my days either consist of going to the pool and then going downstairs to the bar, or playing golf and then going downstairs to the bar. And
so the thing is when you go to the pool, you're exercising too, right?
Yeah, that's why I go. That friend Ashley of mine who told me that stay out of the hospital as best you can. He gave me a list of how to work out in the pool,
right?
So that I wouldn't hurt my back or hurt myself. You know. Anyway, yeah. So I work out and I go to the pool and I do exercise.
Do low impact aerobic workout in the pool, which is fantastic.
And we got a steam downstairs too, so I like the steam too.
Okay, right. So basically, you have pretty good routine then.
Yeah.
Or kind of a healthy routine. Is there anything that you don't like about living in Pattaya?
There's a two-tiered system of pricing.
Right.
We pay a little bit more than a Thai, and
Okay.
I sometimes don't particularly care for that.
All right. I know you play golf. Do you have any other hobbies?
Other than the pool, golf, no, I really don't.
Laid back, beach hippie status is
Yeah, that's about who I am. That's about what I
right,
do.
right. Did you hear about Jimmy Buffett?
Yeah. It's too bad.
Isn't that awful?
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she didn't know who Jimmy Buffett was, and
Oh no.
I said, well, she said, she didn't like him. I said, no, give him a chance. He's really was a decent human being, really a nice human being, and his music was like you didn't really have to think of it. You just tap your foot and went on about your business. It was he was okay.
Yeah. You have a family of children, right?
Yeah, I have two boys.
Okay. Does anybody ever come to visit you, or?
No, I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I think somehow, Americans are different. A lot of them don't even have passports.
Sure.
So it's kind of crazy. And we are what 15,000 miles away.
That's a pretty good haul.
Yeah, it is. And I have two boys, and you would think that they would have liked to come here and see Asia living. That's one of the things that you grow accustomed to, but it's so different than living in the United States or living in Europe. I mean, this place it's Southeast Asia. It's old, and they have beautiful.
The temples,
The temples. It's really cool, and it's really a nice place. And I'd hoped that my kids would have brought their kids over so they could just see, how it works in another place.
I think is one of the best decisions you've ever made.
I don't know, probably, but one of them was fortunate enough meeting Nang. If I wouldn't have met Nang, there's probably slim chance of me being here.
All right.
I'd have probably found some other place to hang out. But that was interesting for me.
Sure.
Only because I was, they call them butterflies here. I was kind of a butterfly, and so
right.
To settle down with one woman for 20 years is way must have been a good decision, I guess.
Yeah, great decision.
Yeah.
All right. Meat or tofu?
Oh, meat for sure.
Give me the steak. What is tofu?
I don't know.
What other countries have you visited?
I took a 49-day cruise around South America one time, so I visited 45 of them. I actually had residence in Brazil. I had residence in Amsterdam, where I actually lived.
So you lived in Brazil? Wow.
I lived in Brazil. Yeah, Brazil was cool.
Yeah.
Brazil was. I had a factory there, and designed and made jewelry.
Okay.
And I had a jewelry store in Brazil, and a jewelry store in Boca Raton, and a couple of satellite stores in different countries. But yeah, Brazil was really nice. I enjoyed Brazil. It was really cool.
Yeah, very good. Do you think it's necessary for you to learn the Thai language while living here in Thailand?
Yes, I think everybody should. Of course, my mom used to say, "Do what I say, not what I do." I think it's a great idea to learn Thai. I never did. 20 years, I still don't know. I know Leo Sai, Leo Kwa, Dang Pai, and Mai Jim Fan. But yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think it's rude not after being here for as long as I've been and still not knowing the language. I think it's rude. I think you should learn the language if you're going to live here.
Yeah, I agree. What makes you happy?
21-year-old Scotch.
Yeah,
and girls.
Girls.
Yeah, I think what makes me the happiest is to see other people happy. I really enjoy a good laugh, and I enjoy people enjoying themselves. And good friends are, we have a lot of acquaintances, but have some good friends, have a few laughs, have a few drinks.
All right.
You know, that's what makes me. That's you know, fresh air.
Well, well.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that you're 80 years old.
Yeah.
You're only 20 years away from being put on the Smucker's jar.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Not Aunt Jemima though.
Yeah, right. And what's next? What's next in your life?
Oh my God. What's next? Every day is trying to stay in, not in my mind about worrying about what's next or about what happened yesterday or what. It just kind of try to stay in the present. That's the what's next, and it's like, you know, that's liable to change at any moment.
Right.
And so I don't have any plans on. I mean, if somebody said, "Hey, Leo, how would you like to, you know, fly to the moon or something?" I said, "I think I'd try that."
Right.
But that's about it.
The things that you need to know about Leo's Bar, it's where lots of good friends come to visit and drink, okay, or have an occasional meal. But it's not your typical bar where you have bar girls there and things like that.
It's like a corner bar.
Right.
You know,
right.
in your town, in your hometown, you have a corner bar you go to, and you know everybody in there, and that's it. Yeah.
It's,
so that's
it's
what
someplace you can come and relax,
right?
Have good prices for drinks, and so on. So, and you don't have too much of a hassle. Listen to good music and press on. So, all right. No anything else to add?
Well, some of the stories of my bars that are pretty unique. Could have never been done just by me. So there was a lot of good friends, and the bar was only successful because of the people. You know, when I had this little small tent bar in Jomtien, I ran into a dude by the name of Kurt, and a guy by the name of Scott Easy, and another guy by the name of Chief. So anyway, so I had this bar, I had no customers,
right? And
then I met on to some electrician, and they were bricklayers and stuff. So anyway, they came and they started making that bar happen. There was like they were there every night after work, drinking and so on and so forth. So then I met Kurt and these other people, and I didn't realize, but they played music.
All right.
And so they would come in on Friday and Saturday and play music. They'd have their own setup with speakers and the little small amps. And Scott Easy and Kurt Walters and Chief, and they played every Friday and Saturday night, a couple hours, you know, and it was great. I mean, it was really a lot of fun, and the bar became, you know, also pretty crazy. And we were on 18. I met a young boy, a young kid at the time. His name was Nathan Butts.
Right.
And he's just a marvelous young man, and he's real good with artwork and stuff. And anyway, there's not a thing that he wouldn't do for you if once you get to know him.
Right. Sure.
So Nathan was responsible. Like, we had open mic night, Nathan would take care of it. You know, he'd have the bands all set up for whatever to play at different times. But again, being fortunate, you know, we're sitting one night, sitting in the bar, and I have this thing that anytime anybody came in with long hair, I immediately ask them if they played. So crazy enough is after Pudang had left with his wife trying to hit him with a bottle, and I had got my own equipment. I had a Thai band every night of the week, 7 nights a week.
Sure.
But that didn't preclude the fact that I had open mic night on Wednesday, and then on Saturday and Sunday, the people who got to know the bar, they would call it the professionals night, because all these people. For example, this guy walks in the bar. He's got long white hair. I'm like, who you? And he said, yeah, I play a little bit. I said, well, would you like to? This sound like maybe on a Tuesday night or something. I said, would you like to go up and play? He said, yeah. He said, if you don't mind. So he went up and grabbed the guitar from the lead guitarist, and he started playing. It was like, wow, this son of a bitch can play, you know. I said, who are you, you know? It turns out he's Lenny Tucky, and Len Tucky was married to Susie Quattro, and Susie Quattro was a pretty big deal, and he made his living playing music, and that was kind of like the start of that blues bar. A lot of the people who played on Friday and Saturday night were actually real good musicians who made their livelihood playing music.
Sure.
And they never charged me a dime. They just played for free. You know, Lenny Tucky with Susie Quattro, Tony Stevens with a band called Foghat, Scott Easy with a band called the Mona Lisas. Quite a few people, and some really marvelous, nice people. After a while, I mean, to give you an idea how lucky I was, that just happened. Scott Easy had somebody build a riser, so the drums were up a little higher. Bob Lamb was a drummer. He produced UB40 and another band. Played with Ozzy Osbourne. Played with a bunch of blues bars. Traveled with the Who. Who I got to know quite well. And anyway, the whole thing just was a stroke of luck. There was this guy, and then that guy, and then this person and that person. And it turns out that after a while, the rats ate all of my cables and stuff. And I met this man by the name of Andy, just a regular guy, you know. He liked to play the bass. So he said to me one night, he said, "Could I ask your bass player if I could borrow his bass?" I said, "Yeah." So he went and grabbed it, and he started playing the bass. Anyway, that was nice. And so as the years went by, with the sea and everything, everything got a little bit old. And so all my guy friends said, "Listen, what we'll do is on Monday, we're going to get a bunch of people come in here. We're going to redo the whole bar and rewire the whole place and set it all up." I said, "Great." You know, I mean, I didn't even ask, you know,
Right.
That's how nice it was. And so then they did all of that, but they started to do that. And on that same Monday, this dude Andy shows up. All of a sudden, there's this big Yamaha truck out in front of my bar. And he says, what are these people doing here? I said, "Well, we're trying to rewire the place and get everything there." He said, "Leo, forget about it." He said, I got it all worked out." So they unloaded the truck, everything brand spanking new. He left me everything from mics to speakers to this to that to I mean, everything, keyboards, whatnot. I mean, I'm like, what the hell? And at the end of the day, once everything was all done, he just gave me the receipts for everything and gave me the warranties for everything and said, "It's on me." I think he spent maybe anywhere from 200,000 to 400,000 baht.
Wow.
Putting that stuff in there. Never asked for a drink, never asked for nothing. Just did it.
Wow.
And that's why I say, you know, I love Thailand for that. All the people that we met, and you know, it was like this guy would come in, and it was a beautiful music bar, and it was a nice meeting place.
Right.
I took the poll to give you an idea. I just wanted music. I used to have all bars have poles in them, where the girls dance.
Dancing girl pole.
I took
it out.
I took the damn pole out. I didn't want no dancing girls. So I just wanted blues music. And that's what happened.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Lobster or crayfish?
They're delicious. I have lobster.
Lobster. All right. Okay, I want to thank Leo for agreeing to do this and giving his honest opinion. and you know, here's a guy that's, again, been living here for a long time, and he has the experience and boots on the street knowledge of what's going on here in Pattaya. And anyway, again, thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's cool.
And that's a wrap. So.